professor, I will test you in the worst way. Don't bring a Scantron, pop quizzes all day. Cause of our chemistry, we do biology.
What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Subscriber die trying. You see the thumbnail, man. Beware of modern patriotism. So, like over this weekend, finally got a chance to watch the Forever Purge. I watched all of them except for that. And I'm looking at it, and I'm thinking about the things that have been going on over the years. And I'm like, this isn't really far-fetched. And the reason I say that is because there was like this underlying theme of, what it basically played upon is the Make America Great Again ideology gone rogue. That people was like, this is the underbelly of the silent majority. And the thing about it was, when I look at it, I'm like, over the years, you've seen a bunch of people who are fake patriots. And what they consider patriotic is basically, Jim Crow rules and laws that they can implement at their discretion and have no recourse, no accountability, no charges, just free to do whatever to particular people. And what happened was, I talked about it years ago when I was saying, I kept going to the sporting goods store and people were just buying up ammo to the point where the sporting goods people was like, listen, you come in here and you buy 1 box or 2 boxes of ammo. Don't bring your wife, don't bring your kids, don't bring your niece, don't bring your nephew, don't bring your uncle. We're not doing this. 1 or 2 boxes and get out of here. And, people were asking, what are people preparing for? And years ago, while I was working, I run into this guy. He's a cool guy. But he was preparing, he was like, his sentiment was, we're in the suburbs, so we got to protect ourselves if everything goes left from these people from the hood coming to steal our stuff. Of course, it's older white guy. And I kind of chuckled and I explained to him, you really think people are going to drive, let's just say 20, 30 miles away from the city to get your stuff, when they're probably going to get stuff from people in, a 5-mile square radius? You really think people are going to drive this far? I said, but I told him, I said, that your issue probably is going to be that you're not going to be prepared for your neighbors doing that to you because you're so busy looking at people from the hood in a caravan riding all the way to the suburbs, right? But the misguided part about this is also there's a couple of particular scenes that got me. One was a white guy was like, he's working for slave wages, and it rubbed him the wrong way. And I'm thinking to myself, because it was supposed to be a play against, the rich. The rich are getting in the way. We got to get rid of all these rich people. And one of the guys who was rich told the guy who felt like he was working for slave wages was, you do realize rich people implemented this whole purge anyways. So whether you like it or not, you're just following suit with somebody rich told you to do. But figuring, well, whatever, we just going to get all the rich ones. And why I got to bring that into play is because as the movie played out and the patriotism played out, fake patriotism played out, these people weren't necessarily attacking the rich. They were just attacking anybody who wasn't white. That was pretty much the gist of it, And when you look at the movie, the people who were doing this had to be fairly well off. You're not going to get all this ammunition, all of this gear, retrofit these trucks and dune buggies and get tanks and all this stuff. Broke people can't do that. Sorry. And what got me was it was all under the idea of patriotism. Now, another thing that caught my attention was this. Excuse me. it was coordinated all across the United States. So it reminded me of the January 6th, what is it, year and some change, 2 years ago, where, it's coordinated to the point where, man, how did all of these people connect and say, hey, this is what we doing, this is what we doing? It was underground, right? It was underground that got overground. And people were trying to leave the country. And it was interesting because nobody could explain how all of these people nationwide connected to be on the same page to do something so dastardly, right? But it was all in the ideas of patriotism. Because the last thing I want to bring up was that cracked me up was there's a particular scene where the people had their own flag or their own symbol or emblem to let you know you're on the good guy's side, right? And if you didn't have that flag or emblem, you're getting shot at. And people were getting attacked, and it was trying to kill them. And one of the people was like, yeah, wherever. They put up that flag. It was like, oh, they're with us. They're one of the good ones. And it's like, just perhaps, like, wouldn't it show governmental incompetence? Because if you got that many flags and that many emblems to represent that many things, it should raise a red flag. Like, what the heck is this? What is this and what does it mean? But it kind of shows me, you got to beware of modern day patriotism because, everybody's in on it except for people who don't look like, white patriots, right? And another thing that I'm going to end with this. It was also interesting that somebody who was non-white saved some white folks' life. And they were kind of like, they could just, just go do your thing. And it's like, person saved your life and you still trying to throw him under the bus. It doesn't dawn on you yet. And what, if somebody says, what does all this have to do with patriotism? What I'm saying is, you got to be with a modern day patriotism because it's really just a cover to attack somebody. It's just a cover to attack somebody and act like you're doing the country a service or a justice. And you see it more and more in people who are looking for a inclination to see if they can find an out to get away with doing something. Because whether you like to admit it or not, this country is becoming more and more violent publicly from the groups that ain't supposed to be violent. And they hide behind a lot of things. So that's why I said what I said. But like, share, subscribe, or die trying. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace. Can't say peace.
You ever been at the top of the universe?